The wife, with the hand of another man, was returning to the palace to offer her respects, but suddenly she saw a sight that embarrassed her. She had never thought that her husband, who passed away 10 years ago, would still be waiting outside the station. His eyes were dim and tired, the same old dirty suitcase beside him. He was just like before, full of energy and enthusiasm, but now there was nothing left inside him. The wife had moved on, found a way forward in life, but he was still stuck in the same place, foolishly waiting with hope. 10 years had passed, and while people can't stay loyal to their love, a dog had shown what loyalty truly means. An old man selling coffee on the roadside turned around and wiped his tears. He was the only one who knew what Hanchi had endured. In those 10 years, Hanchi recognized his mistress, but his eyes kept darting around, afraid that someone would step off the train and not recognize him. Hanchi and his master's first meeting had been at a crowded train station. Perhaps it was fate's play, and at that very moment, a professor saw him. The professor was kind-hearted and thought, how could such a loyal breed of dog be so lost and homeless? He decided to take him in, hoping someone would come to claim him. But the last train still hadn't arrived, and out of necessity, the professor left him with the station authorities, who said he could stay for just one night. However, they allowed him to stay at their home for that night. The professor kept a toy with him so that he wouldn't feel lonely. But as soon as the professor stepped out, Hanchi came to the door and peered through the small crack. He couldn't speak, but his deep, empty eyes conveyed everything. The next morning, the professor's daughter saw him and liked him very much. The professor thought he might finally be allowed to keep Hanchi at home, but just then, his wife declared that she didn't want the dog in their house anymore. With her firmness, the professor understood this wasn't a matter for negotiation. In the water, there was a golden statue. The fisherman took a stick and used it to pull the golden statue out of the water. But just as he tried to grab it, the stick broke, and the statue began to sink. The gold was so heavy that the fisherman couldn't hold on to the stick. The entire situation became complicated, and it seemed like an ominous presence was emerging from the water. He kept struggling with the gold, not realizing the danger approaching him. Suddenly, he heard a strange sound and looked around, but there was nothing unusual. Ignoring the odd sensation, he continued to pull the gold out. However, he didn't pay attention to the strange movements in the water, unaware that danger was lurking.